I forget the article or the magazine article, but I'll post it on here by the time I post this video. But anyway, it stated that the average marriage ends in divorce about 8.2 years. I thought that was significant. I know, 8 years and 2 months. I don't know, but the 8.2 stood out to me. Because that, when I read that, I was 2 months shy of my 8-year anniversary, separated, on the verge of a second divorce, which led me down. I read that, it led me down a whole rabbit hole of my cycle, right? I'm looking at myself differently. Like, dude, you are right on the cusp of what this article is talking about. In fact, your first marriage ended in 8 years. So I'm like, whoa. There's some truth to this, right? Like, this is I'm reading my story. Like, you ever read something and it's like, it's talking to me? Like, this article was talking to me. And I went on and read a little bit more about it. And it had a number of different reasons why people end in divorce. And all the reasons, stemming from, communication, money, all these different things, right? But when I went down my rabbit hole, I uncovered a different reason why we get divorced, why I got a divorce, and why so many people get divorced. Nearly 50% get divorced. And this is bigger than just communication. This is bigger than just money, finances, infidelity. This is bigger than that. And once I uncovered that, it led me to want to help other people down this path. So me and my wife, we reconcile. We started a couples coaching, Couples Corner 8.2. 8.2 years. We were on the brink of that average. But as I started to look at my cycle, here's what I found out. We typically get married because we think that's what we're supposed to do. Like, let's just be real. Like, you ask the average person, and I've asked people, why are you getting married? Because I love them. Okay. Some may say love. Some may say this is what, a man and woman does. It may be tied to some religion. But typically, we do what we see everyone else is doing. And it seems like the right thing to do according to what everyone believes. So if everyone has the same belief, obviously they're going to have the same behavior. But as I stated before, challenge brings change. If you challenge what you believe, it can change your entire life. That goes in every aspect of your life. Just because you believe that's the right thing to do doesn't make it true. But if you believe that's the truth, then that becomes your reality. Now, that goes emotionally, individually as well too, because what you believe is happening oftentimes isn't the truth. But if you believe it to be your truth, it becomes your reality. Here's what I mean. You're like, get to the point. Here's what I mean. If you haven't done your own emotional work before you got married, you carry a lot of that emotional baggage into the relationship, into the marriage. Now, isn't it fair that you work on yourself before you bring that emotional baggage into the marriage? Those insecurities that we all have, well, those insecurities are rooted in fear. Whether you have insecurity about your body, insecurity about a past relationship, insecurities are all rooted in fear. It's a fear-based mindset. And when you are in a fear-based mindset, you are easily triggered by things. And that's a vibration that's very low in frequency. So you react, you see things that may not be true, but because of your fear-based mindset, you react to that. And that reaction can look in so many different ways, depending on what you saw when you were growing up. But one thing is for sure, when we are in fear, we look to control. Think about the physical fear. You ever been watching a movie or someone jumped out and you jump back, or you may hold on to somebody? That's the physical aspect of what fear looks like. When those physical muscles, those emotional muscles, they work hand in hand. Like, it's funny, like when you emotionally have that fear, it may look like anger because anger is fear. Then you also yell. You don't scream, you may yell, but your voice, you have a reaction to it. That control looks totally different. When you holding on, it looks totally different when those emotional muscles are triggered. That control can build up resentment in people and other people, because no one likes to be controlled. And that resentment can come out in very unhealthy ways. So now, you're triggered, they're triggered, you're both triggered, and no one ever taught you how to work through those triggers. No one ever taught you how to articulate your emotions in a healthy way. You were taught that vulnerability is a sign of weakness. It's not what I heard, it's what I know. I was never taught how to articulate my emotions. I was never validated at home, so that was my trigger. And when I don't feel validated, it scares me. And when I'm scared, I look to control. Vice versa. So my point is that we get married without working through these emotional muscles. They're weak. They need to be strengthened. No one ever taught us how to work them out. It's not our fault. But it is our responsibility to move from a space of fear, to work on those emotional triggers, those insecurities, before you enter a relationship, especially a marriage. And then we start having kids. And the cycle continues. But listen, I broke the cycle. I broke the cycle by simply challenging a lot of the things that I believed that was happening. I was looking at life as it was happening to me. This happened to me, that happened to me. She act like this, she act like this. I was the victim, so everything was happening to me. But I just had a light switch happen. During the 2 months I was separated, 2 months just shy of my 8th year anniversary, separated. And noticing that cycle, I was able to have a shift in mindset. I stopped looking at life as it was happening to me. I started looking at life as it was happening for me. That shifted my whole perspective of life. Listen, we're here on a mission. Don't get distracted by those emotional triggers. Use your logic. Those things are here to teach you something. It's an experience. My mouth getting dry. It's an experience. And all experiences are here to teach us something because experience is the best teacher. But listen, do yourself a favor. Appreciate you listening. Here's what I want to do for you, because I want to work with individuals who are ready to break cycles, whether they're in a relationship, married, or just trying to figure this thing out, this thing called life, this game. You're looking to get some accountability and help you get through that. Drop the word power in the comments, and I'll send you something, and we'll get a chance to see if we're a match, see if we're aligned. Is that fair? I bet. Power in the comments. I want you to do yourself another favor. I want you to treat yourself to a smile. I say this on every video, but I mean it. Treat yourself to a smile, because it turns the light on. All right? See you soon. I'm out.